Hi everyone, I'm Rick Curtis with Rick's Dream Machine. Today we're going to go over the book The Dip by Seth Godin. Seth Godin, if you don't already know, is a highly successful marketing blogger, and you can actually read his blog at sethgodin.com. That's actually how I was first turned on to him. An uncle of mine suggested that I check out his blog, so I started to read a little bit on what Seth had to say, and now I'm reading it on a pretty consistent basis. On the book of The Dip. Now, The Dip is a very simple, easy read that has very powerful concepts. I guess what I mean by powerful concepts, in the sense that Seth analyzes everything in life on a dip factor. Let's say, for example, you're a college student and you're starting to struggle. You know, maybe you're 2 or 3 years in and your classes are getting a little bit harder, but you're really starting to struggle and you're starting to wonder if this is worth it. What can you do to overcome? You know, maybe you could get a tutor, maybe you could start seeing the teacher after class, maybe you could start studying more. Let's say, for example, you're a real estate agent, and let's say you've only been a real estate agent for a couple of years, and at first things were a little bit easier because you were new and it was exciting, but now things are getting a little bit more stagnant, and you're really starting to struggle. What are some things that you could do to possibly become successful? Maybe you could talk to the person in your office that is, you know, the person that's been there for 20 years and they're successful. Maybe you could offer to take them out for lunch to learn a few more things. Maybe you could take some more training classes. Let's say, for example, you're learning how to snowboard, which is one example that Seth talks about. Most often, people invest time in learning how to snowboard, time and money. They end up going to the hill, they end up falling down, and this is something that I actually did a few years back myself. I spent some time, some money on a hill, falling down, and I just ended up saying it was too hard, so I just stopped doing it. So essentially, I just stopped myself right in the dip. But if I would have really buckled down and it was something that I really wanted to do, and I would have pushed through it, I could have came through the other side and been successful and look cool when I snowboard, because then I would know how to snowboard and I wouldn't be in the dip anymore. But all three of these concepts simply illustrate that everything we do has a point at which it gets hard. And according to Seth, that's when we got to take the shortcut. The shortcut is pushing through and actually doing more work at that time, getting smarter when we're actually at that point. The book is just so thought-provoking that I think, at least for myself, I started to analyze every part of my life in this sense. You know, like, started to think, where am I now in each different area of my life? Do I need to accelerate my efforts? Do I need to stop and rethink my strategy? It's a very intriguing read, and I would definitely encourage everybody out there to read, again, The Dip by Seth Godin. So thank you very much for your time. Please stay tuned.